Hello, my good lads. It is me, your favorite horror YouTuber, Nickoraptor, and today I will be reading 3 graveyard shift stories. Thanks to Capasta04 for letting me come on his channel. And yes, let's get right into the stories. I worked a night audit at this semi-swanky hotel next to the airport. One night I get a call from a lady in room 204. She says there was arguing, loud banging, and crying coming out of room 206. I check the computer. No one has checked into the room due to maintenance issues. What the fuck? Called my supervisor to see what to do, and she tells me to call on-site security and follow up to them with the key. But I decide to be the bigger man and go up anyways. As we get off the elevator, we can hear crying. It's loud. My heart starts racing as we get near the door. So I hand the key to the security guard. Next 5 minutes seem to happen in slow motions. He opens the door and immediately flicks on the lights. Keep in mind, room 206. We're on the second floor. Only door in was by me, and it was like 3 in the morning. There was no one around. As we enter the room, the shower is on and steam is coming from under the door. There's only one lamp on in the room. It's super cold, and there's a lady in a red lacy bra and black panties with super red hair, curled up, crying in the bed. She was facing away from us. As Frank approached her, he asked if everything was okay. She sort of stopped crying and rolled over, and when she did, a wave of horror came over us. She was super pale, covered in blood, and was just standing behind us. She was just staring behind us. Oh, God. That's when I realized the shower had stopped and the door was open. There was a man about 6'5" standing in the doorway. As we turned around, the cops tased him and arrested him. Turns out he was a rapist who hides in hotels' rooms, kidnaps women who stay there, cuts them up. To this day, I will never go to a hotel again. Shift gas station attendant. My first night alone. I'm cleaning out the trash around the pumps and refilling the windshield fluid containers. Cop pulls in, drives by really slow, staring at the store. Doesn't see me standing near pumps, parks, walks into the store really fast. He's clearly looking for an attendant, so I walk into the store. He jumps when the door opens and I say, "Hey, what's up?" "The Dunkin' Donuts 2 streets over. Just got hit and the guy doesn't fit any profiles. We think he just likes to shoot people, so we're just letting people know." He gets in his car and drives off. This is probably not what you were expecting. Here goes. I used to work for a relatively small security company. It was privately owned, had about 30 employees altogether. They had to get a contract with a factory, and then basically your job was to sit in that factory for about 8 to 12 hours when no one was working in it. So I'd be working by myself, alone, overnight in a completely empty factory. In my 2 years doing that job, I never saw one thing I would call supernatural. However, I did see Dennis. One night, my captain calls me on the phone and tells me a new trainee will be coming in about 5 a.m. and I need to show him the ropes, teach him how to make rounds. So it's about 4:45 a.m. I step outside into the parking lot to have a smoke and wait on the new guy. After about 10 minutes, a car pulls up, stops, backs up, and drives away. I was clearly visible, so I have no idea why he left. When the car passed by about 3 or 4 more times before finally pulling in and shutting off the engine, I could see him in the car. He's just sitting in the driver's seat staring at me. In the back seat, I see 2 kids probably around 6 to 8. After about 3 minutes of me wondering what the fuck is going on, he gets out of the car. Dennis is fucked up looking. He's around 4'10" and fatter than damn near anyone I've ever seen. It has a huge rash covering about 70% of his body, with a white crust outlining most of it. Then he speaks. "Had a little trouble finding the place." His voice is high-pitched, and I mean really high-pitched. I'm talking Judge Doom in the final scene of Who Framed Roger Rabbit high-pitched. Then he extends his hand to shake mine. Without thinking much, I shake it. There's 1 finger on it. 1. And the rest of the hand looks like some stumpy flesh mitten. One of the kids gets out the car, has the same rash, and is also fat. And is also missing fingers and says, "Daddy, can I get a drink?" Dennis turns around and screams in that high-pitched voice, "Get back in the damn car and don't you get out ever again!" I am in fucking shock. So I take the guy around the factory, show him the perimeter, and tell him where the emergency stuff is. About a minute into our walk, I notice this guy smells like hell. I mean, he literally reeks of ball sweat and fresh diarrhea. Whole time he's asking me strange questions like, do you have a crush on anyone that works here? Or, can I hunt on this property? He finally leaves after standing in the office trying to make small talk with me for about 15 minutes after a tour. Then, on his way out, he said, we're gonna be good friends, even if you don't think so now. We went home and 2 hours later and stood in the shower for a good hour washing myself, trying to get the image of that guy out of my head. I called my captain and asked him to reassign me somewhere else. Never had to see him again. It's been more than 10 years, and it still bothers me.